Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
And I'm Sandra Priestley, Leadership Coach for Female Entrepreneurs and a Feng Shui Practitioner.
Hi.
And hi, how's it going?
Good. I'm sorry I cut you off. And what?
And I am trying your famous recipe of the 1918 Empress Gin and Prosecco.
I am too.
I feel like I put a little bit more gin in.
Delicious.
I feel like I put a little bit too much gin in because mine is like more dark than yours.
Cheers.
But cheers, yay. But
I had to add more Prosecco because it was a little strong.
Was it? Mine, I just love this gin. And why I love it is like, I don't know. I just feel like it's so next level. Like I love that the purple in it, and the purple comes from the pea blossoms, and it just feels so special to me, you know?
Yes.
It's not like just like the everyday gin in a plastic bottle, like right. 40 ounces of it. It's like it's special.
And I need to clarify, this is not my recipe. My girls came up with this recipe. So you inspired them to go out and get some. And now they are all about their Empress 1908. And when they came over to toast the show, one of my girlfriends had brought me a bottle of champagne. And so typically we put ruby red vodka in it, or just some sort of deep Eddie flavor. Like there's a peach one we'll use, or ruby red. And I went to get that and they're like, no, you need the Empress Gin. And I was like, really?
Wow.
Really? And so, yeah. So my girls, in your honor, I think, made that up, invented it.
It's so super cool. And like, it's always cool as a Canadian. I got to say, as a Canadian, there are so many cool Canadian things, like so many cool Canadian products and things like this Empress 1908 gin. And I feel like it's something I need to do is like promote all these really cool products, because I'm so used to buying American products and like having things shipped and everything else. But we have some like kick-ass special things in Canada. So yes, I am happy to send Empress Gin down from Canada all the way down to Texas with love.
Yeah, you don't have to, because the stores are bare now. We have cleaned them out.
Oh my God.
It just like sounds good. Like, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. And then we can have like this Empress Gin be our sponsor. This would be super cool.
Absolutely.
This would be that and Dom Perignon champagne. I'm all about it.
Can't wait till the show that we have that, where we're toasting that.
I know.
I see it in our future.
I know. I do too. I flippin' love it.
It will be the first time that I have had it.
It's so fucking next level. I can't even describe it. Like even just like the box, when you open up the box is like beautiful and like just so well made and so pretty. And then you open it up and it's like encased. It's got this like wonderful sort of envelope with these like beautiful ribbons on the side, and it's cradled in there. Oh my God. Like it was like, what we need to do this every week, like it was just like this next level. It just felt next level, like your new computer.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be a $270 bottle of champagne. Sometimes it's like just like one tiny little thing, like that just it gets you into that feeling.
Yes.
Like that, just like,
And it's so interesting as we manifest these things. We dream about the day that we get the new computer or the new car or the shoes or the bag or whatever it is that we are,
Mhm.
or the job, we have all these things like, oh, it's just going to be this big giant like boom thing. And when it shows up, it feels like the logical next step. It doesn't feel
Right.
like it's completely out of reach, that we've done something miraculous. And,
Mhm.
but then there's still that gratitude for it.
Yeah.
And, I was talking with my coach this week, and we were talking about the podcast, and we were talking about you.
My favorite topic.
Yes. And I was telling her, I'm like, Sandra comes on the show and she's like, I want to make $100,000 a month. And I'm like,
Mhm.
wow. And I said, Chris, I'm not there yet. Like, that is not my logical next step. Like,
Mhm.
I'm thinking my logical next step is 10 grand, 20 grand a month. That feels like completely doable. So that's like where I'm going to start, because when
Right.
that shows up, then I'll be like, oh yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll try 50, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And when I look back on manifestations over the years, it always seemed like the logical next step. But when I look back to the way I felt when I desired it and where I was, then I see the big, huge leap that it really was. But it's
Mhm.
all of those little things in between that kind of shift us and open us up for that to come in.
Yeah. And like, let's be clear, I'm not close to 100K a month, but there was something. It's been something that I can't get out of my mind.
Mhm.
So I had my human design read, and at the time I was making six figures. I was making just a little bit over 100,000 a year. And when I had my human design read, I hope I didn't tell this story on the podcast already. Did I? Do you
I don't think
remember?
so, but
I don't know.
tell it.
Okay, well, we're just going to go with it. So when I had my human design reading done, I was saying to this girl, like, she was telling me, all of the things that I already knew. Quite frankly, when you get your human design read, it's like, oh yeah, that's totally me. Like, it just feels like it's right, and this is exactly how I am. And I was saying, she asked me, like, what is your goal? And I said, at this point, like, I just want to replace my full-time income. Like, at the time I was working for the federal government, and I was making six figures a year. And I said, I just want to replace my full-time income with my business. And at the time it was like, so that I can retire, so that I can quit my job.
Mhm.
And she said to me, and it's something that I still have written on a fucking sticky note in my office. She said to me, but in a world of unlimited potentiality, you can make that in a month. And those times when someone says something and it hits you to your fucking core, like, it just like hits you to your core, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I just thought, oh my God, that's my goal. 100,000 a month, six figures a month. That's my goal. In a world of unlimited potentiality,
Mhm.
I can make $100,000 in a month. And I didn't have a clue how I was going to do that. And it seemed so fucking far in advance of anything that I could ever create. And I really struggled with it too, because I used to set these big, huge, crazy, scary goals. But the thing was that they were so far from where I was.
Mhm.
And the distance between where I was and where I wanted to be, or the goal that I had, was so vast. I was like, that'd be fun. And then it wouldn't take steps to ever get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was just like, oh, this is so fun. And I'm not
Kind of
actually
just
going to do the
dreaming
work.
about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, it was like, it was this stage where I was creating these big scary goals, but like I was like going backwards,
Mhm.
wasn't going anywhere near them. And in this, it just hit me differently. And I went, okay, what do I need to do? What actions do I need to take? One of the things was like, get around women who make 100,000 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's one of the things you got to do. Like, I can't stay and be around, like, if I'm an entrepreneur who wants to make 100K months,
Mhm.
I need to be around people who want to constantly evolve and grow over a lifetime. I need to be around people who want to push themselves. I want to be around entrepreneurs because
Mm.
let's face it, you're not going to make $100,000 a month when you work for the federal government or anyone else, probably.
Right.
And so I needed to position myself in amongst other female entrepreneurs who did it, so that I can see, when I see it's possible for them, I see it's possible for me. So like
Mhm.
I am constantly surrounding myself with more women $100,000 months,
Yeah.
or 200 or 300. My coach, I think her highest month to date was like $175,000 month, something like that.
Mhm.
And so, like I intentionally surround myself
Yeah.
with that energy.
Well, and Gabby was talking about that, like day 16, 15, 16, something like that, of the challenge of when you see someone else create, manifest, whatever, something that you want,
Mhm,
rather than think it's pie and there's not enough to go around,
mhm.
what if you celebrated them and realized if it's
Totally,
possible for them, it's possible for me?
totally.
Mhm. Wow.
And it's so powerful, right? Like it's so
Yeah.
powerful because it's just like, holy shit, okay, she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
That's evidence.
Yeah.
I'm collecting evidence that it's possible. What do? We fucking collect evidence that it isn't possible.
Oh, yeah. We
Like
got to prove it.
we got to prove it's not possible, right? And then,
Mhm.
who, like the people who we were hanging out with, like the people who work with us and make a wage for someone else that is not going to be $100,000. I remember, it was, I don't know, maybe October, November, and we had gone back to Saskatchewan to take care of some business. And so my husband and I were back in Saskatchewan. We were talking to our friends, and our friends also work, for the federal government. And my friend's husband said, "So, like, how's business?" And I'm like, "It's amazing." I had just left work, and I was full-time CEO at the time. And I'm like, "It's amazing. It is amazing to be only in my own energy and to be my own CEO and to make my own decisions and not have to worry about like, well, what is the mandate? What am I having to convince other people to do?" Because I was a manager. And I remember, and I said, well, my goal, I don't know why I said this either, but I'm like, my goal is $100,000 a month. And they went, oh, oh yeah. And I realized, oh my gosh, I sound like fucking stupid. Like like, that must be so huge to other people who are not surrounding themselves with entrepreneurs, surrounding themselves with people who have done this. Like, I mean, Melanie Ann Lair,
Or
like
don't see that as a possibility.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I felt myself like previous, I would start to explain myself away and I would start to make excuses and I would start to say, I mean, who knows if I'm going to do it yet. Right. And I would start to downplay it. Like I noticed I was doing that. And now I will say, I know that sounds like it's not possible, but I'm intentionally surrounding myself with women who have done it. And if they can do it, I can do it. And so can everyone else.
Mhm.
And I really feel like if I set that goal and I, you know, work through all the limiting beliefs of like why I can't do that. Like, I really believe we can manifest whatever we want. I
Mhm.
used to be the person that would never, ever, ever share what my goal was
Mm.
because I was embarrassed thinking, well, if I tell people my goal is $100,000 a month, they're going to judge me when I don't hit it.
Mm.
And I was really fearful of the judgment.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, don't care.
Because that you thought you weren't going to hit it.
Right.
Because then why would they judge you? You know, it's like our,
Right.
I was
Yeah.
listening to Brandon Burchard, and
Hmm.
he was talking about how we do that to ourselves where, oh, I could never do that. I can't create that. I can't get that job, that house, that car, that money, that whatever, that person.
Yeah.
And he's like, we put people on the moon. Like, I
It's so
mean,
true.
look at what people do every day in
Hmm.
every field. I mean, it's not a select, you know, only these things happen to these people. These are people out there making things happen. And we go, well, I'm not that special, or my talent's not that great, or who's
Hmm.
going to listen to me, or I don't deserve that money. Um, all of these fucked up thoughts that
Yeah.
are just lies. I have a coaching client that, you know, really started off in weight loss, of course. Well, she's down 100 pounds. And
Oh my gosh.
oh yeah.
Okay. Like, let's celebrate her.
Oh,
Holy
and it's
shit.
the funnest transformation to watch because she came to play. Like, it is
Oh,
about her growth and where she's going and what she's creating. And she's ready to talk about career change and really doing something that is going to provide for her family and kind of take
like,
her next
wow.
level. And
And here's the thing. It's so much not only about the food.
it's not at all about
It's
food.
like this I mean, like the amount of transformation that she would go through, it would be like she would be a completely different human.
Oh, and it's so
Like,
interesting because she is just starting to see it. Like when she was like
uh
70, 80 pounds, she's like, Leigh, I look in the mirror and I don't see anything different.
seriously?
And I'm like, really? Really?
Wow.
You're telling me that you don't see any difference? I don't. And I'm like, okay. So now we get to start. Your homework
Working on that.
is to find out what you love. See something on your body that you love. Fingers, toes, maybe
Yeah.
it's your skin, maybe it's your lips. Like, I don't care. Start picking out things you love and go, oh, damn, girl, look at that.
Wow.
And the more you start appreciating, I don't care if it's your toes, like, if that's where you got
Hmm.
to start, appreciate the toes. Then you're going to start noticing something else.
Yeah.
In the same way that when we start picking ourselves apart, then everything is wrong,
Hmm.
you know? And so it's like we've got to look for what's going right and we're going to see more of it. And
So true.
hmm, but to have her, you know, she's made, you know, she's healthy now.
Hmm.
She's, I mean, because she was at a very unhealthy weight. She was having
Hmm.
trouble walking. She was having some health issues because of it that are now
Right.
resolved. And she's working on that self-image. But I can tell that she's really getting there because she's starting to see what's possible and what is next and what she can create.
Oh, it's so
And
cool.
it is the coolest thing. And watching people sort of wake up. And, you know, we all have these different paths. You know, some people
Hmm.
want to make the money. Some people want to find that person. Some people are looking
Yeah.
for that job. Some people are trying to start their own business. I mean, there's just so many ways to get, we all have our own slice of happiness, so to speak, and it is not pie.
It's so true.
There is plenty to go around. And just because someone else creates something that we want doesn't mean we can't go out and do the same thing.
And was it Gabby? I can't remember if it was Gabby or was someone else that I was watching, because I mean, like, you know, I'm all about transformation and I'm all about evolution and learning as much as I can. And, you know, I try to give people as much credit as possible. Like if I remember someone who said it, I will always quote
Sure.
them. And I can't remember this time, but it was like something like, when you can give credit, like when you can see someone that achieves something that you want and you celebrate the living hell out of them, and you're like so excited that they've been able to create it and you celebrate them for it, then it's like you don't do it so that you'll get the feedback and you'll be able to do it too, but it's like there's something magical that happens in the universe when you celebrate them. It comes right back to you. Is that Gabby?
It sounds Gabby-ish.
Or is it Abraham?
It sounds well, Gabby's very Abrahamish, so
yeah,
it can be either way. But you know, it's true. When we are out there cheering people on and celebrating them for who they are and what they do, it always comes back to us in some form or fashion, just in the same way. Then we're out there and bitching and moaning and they're doing this and they're doing this. Then we get all that energy right back too.
Yeah, it's so true.
We get whatever we're putting out there. And that's why it's important to pay attention. What you're putting out there.
And I find like I really put myself in the company of people who lift me up and push me up. Sometimes I need a good swift kick in the ass too. You know, like sometimes it's like I will get you know, we're talking about the vortex, and I don't know if we probably don't have time for this one, but you know, I will start to get myself into a situation where I'm like, I'm feeling bitchy, I'm feeling cranky, I am feeling like I like, you know, just in a complaining mood. And I need those people around me who are going to remind me of like, whoa, what are you creating right now? Like, what are you creating right now? What are you attracting right now? Like, and I need to be able to rely on those people. And that's why I think it's so important to pay attention to the people who are around you. Like that quote that's just like, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. Well, if you're hanging out with 5 other people who are constantly fucking bitching, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be negative. It's just an absolute bitch fest and a gossip fest, and you hold yourself back instead of choosing to position yourself with mentors. This is why mentors is so important, right? You choose to position yourself around people who have the thing that you want to achieve, so that you believe that it's possible, that you can see that you can do it, and then you get into that next level. Like it's again, it's like the next level. It allows us to step into the next level. And when you're grabbing the Dom Perignon, you're thinking, holy fuck, this is like really expensive champagne. And then you realize, wait a minute, this is my next level. When you grab the $60, well, I don't know how much it is in the States, maybe 45, but you grab the $60 Empress gin.
I think it's like 40.
And and it's like, it just feels special. And all of a sudden you realize you deserve special. You are worthy of special. And you cherish every moment and every like minute of sipping it. Like I'm telling you, when I grab this champagne glass, I mean, I could use a plastic Tupperware if I wanted to, but I'm choosing not to. Like, you know, you grab the champagne glass, it becomes special. You put water and ice and raspberries in here in this champagne glass, and it becomes special. It's not even about what you pay. It's about the next level experience. There is something fucking fantastic about drinking out of a special glass. Like, you know? I know, I saw, it's so pretty. Such a pretty glass, but you know, like it really is. It's like we step into that next version of ourselves and we celebrate other people who have what we want and we surround ourselves with that. It's like it's inevitable.
Yeah.
We will achieve what we want.
Well, and this whole creation process is so fun and funny. It's like when I saw your Empress Gin episode 1,
Mhm.
I was like, Paul, I have to get this gin. And we're online because I'm like, how are we going to get it from Canada? Like,
Mhm.
and it's at Total Wine and More down the road, just
Cool.
right. And when he went and got it for me and he brought it home and I'm holding it and I'm like, I created this. Like I put it out
Oh.
there that I wanted it and poof, there it was.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm noticing the connection.
Right.
Like lately things have just been speeding up where I'm like, I need this and poof, here it
Poof.
is. I need this. I need this
Yeah.
person. I need, this type of client.
Right.
I have asked for people that are ready to play. Like I
Mhm.
love watching transformation
Mhm.
and they're just flooding the door. I mean, it is amazing how many people are coming in and that's not uncommon for this time of year, but it's the type of people that are coming in.
Right.
It's a
Because I mean,
different,
in weight loss, everyone on December 31st, January 1st wants to lose weight.
right.
But by this time, they've fallen off. And if they're going to sign up with a coach, it's like, okay, let's clear out the shit that's holding me back. And they're like the people who are, like you said, ready to play, the people who are thinking it's not just about the pizza pops.
No,
Like
that really has
it
nothing.
is,
That's a
right?
distraction from them living their life.
Totally. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And like how fun. I just, I love coaching
Mm-hmm.
because how fun to be able to sit as a, what's the word? Like I was going to say conduit, that the word conduit is coming to me, like,
Okay.
but like facilitator of like, how cool to watch someone transform and be the person who just like sort of guides them along and then like watches the magic happen.
Yeah.
Cause like I always am the one who's like, people constantly say to me, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much. I'm a totally different person because of you. I'm like, no, you're a totally different person because of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are willing to do the work. You are willing to listen to my ridiculousness, like the crazy things that I say,
Right.
and you're willing when I challenge you to do something, you're willing to do it. And when I say, but let's go here, let's talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
and all you want to do is hold on to those limiting beliefs and hold on to those excuses and hold on to the the reasons why I can't.
Yeah.
But you come to play, like you say, you come to play and you're like, okay, I am willing to say that I want to hold on to this limiting belief, but let's go there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Mm.
it's like the most satisfying career ever.
Yeah.
Coaching is the absolute best.
Yeah.
Like, and I get goosebumps when I say it because I mean it to the core of who I am. It is the absolute best to watch women step into. For me, it's women. I think you work with both, right?
I do.
But
And
it's
my,
like,
my favorite is the couples, but go ahead.
oh,
Oh,
okay, that
yeah.
would be super cool too.
Well, it's just because they find themselves and then, not only the weight loss, yeah, they're looking good, they're feeling good, but you see that little
Mm-hmm.
spark between them. You see them going and doing things they haven't done before. Um,
Oh,
it's inspiring. And
yeah.
and you're rooting for them because you're like, fuck yeah, like,
Yeah.
because they found each other again, and it's kind of like they're newlyweds again, because, you know, a
That's
whole
so
different
cool.
energy about them. It's the coolest thing ever.
That's like,
All of them are cool. All of them are, but there's just some, and I don't know if it's because I think about me and Paul, you
mhm.
know, and I think about like our journey, and it excites me to see someone else kind of have that same connection and
Yeah.
have a little
Yeah.
partner to do things with. And
Yeah.
mm,
It's so, and it's so funny too, because like it's almost like I really resonate with this idea of like, I get to do this.
yes,
Like, I so resonate with it, because I feel like most people that are employees, or like work for someone, like they don't think I'm going to I don't know, where like go to a job and think I get to do this. Most people don't think that.
well, and I will tell you, I mean, I work for doctors
Hmm.
outside of my coaching practice, and I mean, I coach there as well, but
Right.
um I do feel like that when I go to the office,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they really give me freedom. They trust me. They know I take care of the patients, and
Hmm.
they give me freedom to really set my own hours. I mean, I'll get there some days at 6:30 in the morning. Some days I'll work till 6:30 p.m.
Hmm.
They just sort of let me like go do your thing, Leigh. Like,
Right.
and that is amazing, because that doesn't happen very often.
No, not
And
when you're working for someone else,
nope.
or with right, like majority of times it's like you go to work and you complain about your work. Like, that's okay. Maybe not majority of the times, but
But
that's what my experience was in when I was working, the several different jobs that I've done.
mhm.
I didn't think, when I was in university, I didn't think, oh my gosh, I get to work at this dance bar, or I
Woo.
get to work at this like brew pub, right? Like, I never thought that. I never felt that. I had fun, but I never felt like, wow, life is amazing.
Mm,
My career is amazing. My clients are amazing. I get to do this,
mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And
it is
everyone
so next
should
level.
feel like they get like, I get to do this.
Mhm.
Like, everyone should feel that way. That is my hope.
Everyone should.
Mhm.
That, yeah, that's my hope too.
Yeah.
It's like to wake up in the morning and like I often say one of the things I say all the time is like, life is not meant to be an assembly line of tasks. For the majority of people, it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I felt like that too, even in the careers that I had when I was working for the federal government. Like, I really liked them. I mean, I liked I liked the work that I was doing. I loved being a leader. I loved being a leader, and I loved my team, and I loved the work that we were doing. And I was so proud of it. And when I was a parole officer, I was like, I love to interview, and I love to like crawl around in people's brains, and I love to write. And, so I liked the job, but there's something so next level, again, that word of like just feeling like, wow,
Mhm.
I'm not getting up in the morning, going to the job, doing the same thing. I'm like hugely making a difference.
Yeah.
And every day is different. And I don't go through on autopilot like I'm working in an assembly line making a fucking car. Like, I am not the person that puts the one bearing in on the front right tire. It's like every single day is so different. And when you get to watch the transformation, and when you get to like be the person who says something that changes someone's life,
Mhm.
how cool.
Yeah. Especially when they hear it,
True.
you know?
True. When
When
you're like, oh,
Yeah. When we can say something and they're in a place where they're like, that's what I needed. That's the best.
And they remember it forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Judgment
I
is not
can't
truth.
wait. I know. I can't wait for like this. It's the reason for this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if there's one person that watches this podcast episode and that person's life changes and they never forget something that we said?
Yeah. And we might never know.
And we might never know, but we hope. We
Mhm.
hope we hope for
Call us,
5-star
please.
reviews. We hope for 5-star reviews, and we hope for like comments that say, "You've
Yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
You've changed my life, Sandra and Leigh."
That's the goal.
But
Well,
yeah,
it looks like we're
so
out of
amazing.
time, my dear.
Dang, it's so good.
So fast.
I know. Until next week.
Until next week. And
Cool.
you guys have a great week. Thanks for joining us on the Happy Half Hour. We will see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.